Listen, I know what you're here for. You're here for this. My lopsided breastises. That's what you're here for.
And I have no control.
And she said breastises like David Allen Greer on Living Color.
Hey.
As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you know you better make other plans.
Guys, what the hell does that even mean?
I am so tired of this shit.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. Persians! Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
You see, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.
Someone always has something to say. Tom. Oh, last week it was Mads. Now it's you. Everybody's got something to say. I love you guys.
That intro was fire.
I mean, it's still pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
I am really, really tired now.
Are you sleepy?
It was a good song, though. How could you not like Shipping a Fighter?
No, that's the problem, man. If you could see the background, I know Steven could. I am like bananas in that thing. It's awesome. That's a great song.
Shepherd of Fire.
That's right. It's a shame that we get copyright claimed every damn time.
I know.
We're making a new one anyway. So
I know.
What's going on, guys? Could someone please send Mark the link on Twitter? Because I've been trying to do it for the last half hour, and the guy, it's not sent. It's not going to him. He's been texting me. Can someone take care of that, please? Hail the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Brightest day, real quick, making fun of me. Brightest day for $5. Thank you. Because Walton is determined to get copyright claimed at the beginning of every single stream. You know what? I don't even care.
It's consistency, Brightest day. It's
That's
called
exactly
consistency.
it.
Are you following Mark's Twitter? Because his first Twitter got banned.
Did it?
Yeah, he's got a new Twitter.
Can you send it to his new Twitter?
Please.
Well, I'm not hosting here. You're supposed to have that together. So,
I thought I had it. I didn't know we got banned.
He's got a point.
Wow.
Not my job. I'm a guest.
He's a guest.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hail to the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Real quick, let me say hi to everybody. Keely Chow is with us. What's up, Keely? Thank you for helping us out every week. Stopping through. Emotionally unstable amphibian. Hail, brother. Thank you for being here. Fenrir is with us. My lady Ashley Lynn is with us. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming. James Hayes, always bringing something good. Hello, Steven, and all co-hosts and everyone hanging around the chat. I hope you're all doing well and feeling good today. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, dude. Every week coming with a good message. I like that. Thank you so much. McEnany's with us out there throwing out links. Guys, subscribe to McEnany Draws, up and coming channel, another rogue. Nerium is here with us, creator of Bonds. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Mark is finally here because I have the wrong Twitter, apparently. So
I knew it.
Did you?
On, guys? Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Mark?
I have that other account that's just still floating around out there, so sometimes people go there. So
that's I've been tagging you all week with it and shit. Yeah, that's awful. I'm terrible. Sorry.
Boomer in on a Saturday afternoon.
I didn't know.
You're a bad man.
There's his new Twitter in the private chat.
Bad man.
I like a bad. Yeah, I like a bad. Ooh, what are you eating?
Elevate our guests. Elevate Mr. Donut and Mark. Lift them up.
All right. I'm lifting.
They're very good.
Steven puts me at the bottom. Steven puts me at the bottom because he's an anti-Semite.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Look, bro,
E-tip here.
Share that picture. No. Now you brought it up. Share that.
You're down here
Share
with your company, though.
Before the stream started, E-Tep showed a picture of him with long hair, and he looks like a bad impersonation of Snape. It's really bad.
Wow.
You got
shaved it again.
Did I say what's up, gentlemen? And Muppet is Muppet a slur? I don't know. Is that like
no?
Everything is a slur.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Drunk3PO's girlfriend. I'm Sasha. Yeah, and yeah.
Absolutely.
You
look good together.
Mark, I am so saddened. I am so saddened by your lack of faith in the military. I mean, I can't believe you've done it again. Here you are. You're not wearing your G.I. Joe hat. I know we've talked about this in the past.
Yes.
What you been eating there?
Yeah. I have to support the rebellion.
Oh, baby.
I don't know. It was something about that G.I. Joe hat, though, man. It was something about those early videos when you had it on. I mean, I knew that there's Mark. All I had to do was look for the hat in the video.
Yeah, I still rock it all the time. I always say I'm probably going to be buried in that hat. I've had it. I can't tell you how long.
Man, that hat's kind of dirty though. He needs something new.
Excuse me, it's worn, but it's never dirty, my friend.
Oh wait! I gotta get my hat on.
I guarantee you.
I gotta represent.
I guarantee you, if Scott shows up, he's gonna have the Welcome Rebellion all over him. He's gonna have all your merch, man. He will. He'll show up
sipping out of a mug.
Look like one of those guys that stands at the street corner selling shit.
Like those old ads used to have down here for this store, Mr. Allen's in like Flint, Michigan. It'd be like 29 or 2 for $50. Gap, FUBU, cross colors, 29, 2 for $50. Yeah, those commercials. That's Scotty right there. He's like, oh, all of it? I'll take all of it. Give me all of it. All the merch.
It's
There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Mr. Allen's?
Yeah.
No, FUBU.
Parrot here. What's up, Parrot? Good to see you. Tina, thank you so much, channel member. Appreciate you supporting us. D-Day Dire Wolf is with us. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Hans, Talium. Let's see who else we got here. Brightest Day, of course, at the super chat beginning. Thank you very much. Wookie Supremacy. What's up, Wook? Thank you for being here, brother. Yeah, a lot of cool people in the chat. Even Tom, but he's okay.
We don't like Tom. Tom smells. Yeah, no, he smells. I smelled him. He smells bad.
Oh,
I don't know what he's eating, but it smells. His
Yeah,
pores are secreting. I can't see anything. What the hell? Because this hat.
Okay, I know you have it. That's for sexy time later.
Oh yeah, he likes the cotton. Yeah.
Woo!
Is sexy time going to come with the Jeremy mask?
No, the Jeremy mask.
Are you
freaking?
freaking?
He has this thing about the Jeremy mask. I don't know what his deal is. I don't kink shame anyone, but I'm starting to think I might start with Stephen Walton. Yeah.
You should try a Fatal J mask. That might help.
Yeah.
No, that's to get him to finish. Yeah.
He's got a sexy smile.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hey, so Drunk3PO, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the new Cara Dune. Did you hear?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the new Cara Dune. They said I look just like Gina.
I got to tell you that.
That means you're only going to be on for one season before they kick you off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Well, why?
Episode? You mean?
I told him
they've already found a replacement.
Yeah, me. I told you it's me right now. I'm gonna be the Mandalorian. It's a guy.
Ah, it's a guy.
What? How can they do that? They can't gender swap Cara Dune.
I mean,
they can. And they
How
will.
dare they?
They can. They probably will.
they never gender swap in entertainment. You're lying.
Now, will it be like a chick with or is it going to be like a dude?
Or a dude with a badge.
I was looking forward to seeing Sasha Banks up in there, but I hear she's not coming back either.
She's out because of the vax laws.
The vax
laws. Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah. You know what? And you know what, Mark? That was actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about because I'd seen you were talking about that with Emilio Estevez and that same type of thing where he's refusing to bend the knee to that kind of ridiculous because they just want to force this shit on it and there's no real research behind it. And now they're trying to push out those pills and a lot of people are saying that a lot of those pills are based on ivermectin. So
yeah, except more expensive. You had a pill that people are using all around the world. It seems to be effective, but it doesn't cost anything. That's the thing. They got to be able to make money off this thing, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and it sure does seem like everything that's being done right now seems to be a push to better the pharmaceutical companies, and that's it.
Yeah, I just posted on Twitter. They're set to make $500 billion between the three of them. Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson is
I want to have $1 trillion. Yeah, I need that money.
Yeah, I was checking out your video earlier, Mark, about Emilio Estevez not coming back to the Mighty Ducks.
They fired Emilio Estevez. Who fires Emilio?
They did? No way. Why?
Yeah.
Well, maybe
mandates, baby. It's all
he's really not that important anymore. Let's be honest.
I will say this: Tom is in the chat trolling me, and he just he doesn't even tag my name right. He's like, "Boy, you must really be mad at me at J." Like, why would you at J? That's not my screen name.
Tom, we're
already starting off at the wrong foot.
Yeah,
Ice Cube just turned down a role too, because of the mandates.
He's still
$9 million.
Yeah,
He walked
I
away
was.
from.
Ice Cube has been my favorite rapper since I was probably 9 years old. So I just, I had even more respect for him after that. I was like, good for you, man. You know, that's a lot of change to be turning down. Especially like because he's in the later stages of his career now. He's got to focus more on the acting. I mean, I'm sure he still raps occasionally, does some shows and stuff like that because he still can. But I mean, that's a big thing. You're turning down $9 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
no, I think a lot of those guys have gotten to the point now where they're not even worried about acting. Like Ice Cube isn't worried about acting. He's more worried about directing and producing and doing stuff like that. But these kind of things have residual effects for them because if they turn down this shit, Hollywood wants to push them into a corner. They don't want to give them any attention. I mean, it's the same thing you've seen with a lot of these other guys that have spoken out against this kind of nonsense. You're going to see the same thing with Emilio Estevez. They're going to try to bury him because of this. They're going to say that he's a danger to public health and all the other crap that goes along with it.
Yeah, crap.
Absolutely.
By the way,
Remember
speaking
too.
of crap, sorry to cut you across you, but speaking of crap, Tom, he loves me, not you. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry. I had to say that because, we were talking about crap, and Tom's in there talking crap in the chat. I see you, Tom. I see you.
Are you guys fighting over Drunk3PO? Is that what's going
Yeah,
on?
there's no fight. I already won. He's my man, mine. He likes the puppet. He came to the puppet side. You need to admit it, Tom. You ain't a puppet. He ain't into flesh no more. He's into cotton.
Well, are you a ventriloquist type of puppet? Because he could put the hand. Never mind. Anyway, talking about Ice Cube. All right,
yeah. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube actually, he did a contract. Remember, he was trying to do a contract for so-called Black America during the election cycle, and he went to Brandon originally, and they just blew him off. But he sat down with the Trump administration, and they actually did give him an audience. And he created a lot of controversy within the so-called community over that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Before you go any further, can I share something, please?
Sure. Oh, no. Yeah, share it, baby. Share it. Yeah.
Ryan Kennel tells Big Bird to F
No.
you because it's not funny, but it's funny because Big Bird said,
funny.
I just got my vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but I'll give my body an extra day to boost, So you got Big Bird tweeting this out, and Ryan's just like, F you, Big Bird.
Good for him.
Wait, but do birds get
rock
the virus?
on, Ryan. Rock on.
I was like, I agree with him, but I was just saying, like, it was just funny. I was scrolling through Twitter, and all of a sudden I see F you, Big Bird. I was like, what? What is this? It's the world we live in today. The freaking world we live in that we have to tell Big Bird to F off.
Yes.
Who tells Big Bird to F off? We do. The rebellion.
It's typical predator behavior, though. You know what I mean? It's like they're using all of these things that appeal to children to get them to do something that they can't possibly be mature enough to understand the ramifications of what they're doing. So I think it's kind of low down. Yeah. They should be encouraging them to talk to their parents, and the hope is that the parents will be well informed in order to make that decision for them. But going directly to them through their children's education, that's just despicable.
Well, that's exactly how they subvert the parental guardianship status, by appealing right to the kids instead of going through the parents. I mean, this is something they've been doing for a long time, actually. It's not really new, but
I teach. I substitute teach at a private school, and it's where my son goes. And that's one thing that I'm very fucking grateful for, is that, like, his school, like the teachers, there's no mandates. It's like, if you wanted to get it, cool. If not, that's cool too. It's the same thing with the face diapers. If you want to wear one, awesome. The kids don't have to this year. They made it so they don't have to. And I've picked that up there. It's a different vibe from being in the public school to a private school. As far as the way, like, the other teachers, like at the public school, kind of look at you like, if you don't have the jab yet, they're, and I'm like, okay, you know, if I'll just go back over to the private school and teach over there. I don't have to deal with you people, you know, because it's really like, it's almost like they are like, oh, wait, so we couldn't use race to divide them. So what can we do this time? And it's like, oh, I got it. Public health crisis, and flip that into 2 classes, and boom, here's our divide now. And it's a sad state of affairs when you have, and I have to big shout out to Winsome Sears from Virginia.
Oh yeah,
that was freaking amazing, and she's a Marine, which my father's a Marine, so I have a big amount of respect for her. In being you know, she's an immigrant and a Marine. This woman won lieutenant governor in Virginia. And then what are the white people on the other side of me? Do they call her a white supremacist? Speaking of ventriloquist dials, it's a sad state of affairs.
She challenged Joy Reid, yeah, to a freaking debate. I mean, this is a woman I would not mess with. She will step on your throat.
Oh,
yeah, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, it was a huge step forward across the board, because I think the AG that got elected is a Latino.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm like, this is a huge day, and you guys are again, these divisive MFers that you are. I mean, it drives me crazy, man. And this, look, every single way they could try to divide humans, that's what that's been the jam right now. And look, I mean, going into Sesame Street, right? Using Big Bird and Mr. Snuffleupagus and all these other people to like, you know, try to
hold on. Let's be honest. Mr. Snuffleupagus appealed to everyone that smokes a lot of weed. Okay,
yeah,
that's who he was. He'd walk around. Hey, Bird, what's going on? Nobody knew who he was. Only Big Bird. Only Big Bird's mom.
I think Ords is secretly Mr. Snuffleupagus.
I know, dude. That is definitely Ords. I swear to God.
Hold on. See, you guys are talking about puppets. You're not even asking the only puppet on the panel her thoughts. Okay, first of all this stuff, we don't suffer from viruses. We're freaking puppets. We don't have organs and blood. So
Big Bird just got a shot.
Yeah, no, he's lying. He's lying. It's a lie. What does he get a shot for? It goes right through the cotton. What the heck is he getting the shot for? Where's that liquid going? Nowhere. It's getting seeped in. It does nothing. It's ineffective. All they're doing is telling you lies.
And it's going to smell.
Right, and it's going to, yes, exactly.
And then there's going to be mold. You're going to have mold in your arm. That's not good. That's not good.
It's probably just water, like all the other show shots.
It's placebo. It's just placebo.
Puppet lives matter, and I don't like that puppets are being used to propaganda the human agenda.
Gander?
The human agenda. I'm tired of the human agenda. This is annoying. I'm a puppet. I have rights. I have the right to not get the shot because I'm a puppet. I don't need it.
Interestingly enough,
righteous, man, righteous. You know, it kind of reminds me of the CW Superman when they had him do the promo where he's wearing a mask. It's like, why is Superman wearing a mask? Like, seriously, you know what I mean?
The only thing that can hurt him is kryptonite.
Yeah, like so condescending, man.
They keep ratcheting up the fear. You know, I get notifications on my phone. Oh, a kid at your school got COVID. A kid at the school got COVID. And I'm like, it's been ratcheting. It's been keeping the fear going.
No. See, people are waking up. I think Mark would agree with me. People are waking up to this every single day. It's
absolutely,
you know, just like we're waking up to bad entertainment. We're waking up the normies, man. We've rattled some cages. We're going to keep it up. And here's the thing: when they become disillusioned because the bullshit they've been told is not the truth, they go looking for us. They go looking for everybody else that is not talking the same garbage, that are like, look, think for yourself. There's a million things you can read. I mean, even like some of the most, you know, wackadoodle do super lefty stuff that I don't care for, even some of them have woken up to this stuff, and in these publications they're telling you, look, you flipped out because Hillary lost the election. You flipped out because the media lied to you the whole time. They presented you with very skewed information, and they go through a timeline, and then they're like, okay, and then after this happened, and after this happened, and you guys lived we lived with 4+ years of just insanity. And you know, and now that, you know, they've arrested and charged the knucklehead that was the information source for the Steele dossier. I'm getting into politics, that's my bad, but all I'm saying is we've been lied to for a long damn time. I'm done being lied to. Look, you're telling people you're dumb, and they're calling you know, something else, man. I mean, I'm sorry, Joe Biden low-key's called certain people with certain melanin content, you know, things that I'm uncomfortable with. I mean, and this man is a born, dyed-in-the-wool racist, you know, and he had very racist friends, and he ends up being president. It's friggin'
think of what it must be like for a proud man like me to wake up and hear people saying that Black people can't afford to have ID, and we just don't have it in us to be able to take a damn picture of ourselves. You know what I mean?
Can't get a driver's license. Yeah, I remember that, Mark.
Keep in mind, and I always refer back to my son because this is very serious to me. It's like I don't want him to go through life having a built-in excuse about why he should not be the best him that he can be. But everything that these people are doing, their whole agenda is about talking down to people who look like me, or talking down to people who are diverse and stuff like that. Oh, we have to help you. This is 2021. History has happened. We've made all types of strides and accomplishments and achievements to be proud of. But these people want to keep you stuck in 1940 something.
Absolutely. One of the first channels that I started watching when I just gave a damn about YouTube was Mark, because Mark speaks from the heart, and he speaks about the most truth. He has a son, I have a son, and I don't want my son growing up. I want him growing up in a better world than the one I grew up in. Yep. And I want his children, my grandchildren, to grow up in a better world. And what we have seen from entertainments, from people espousing messages of division and hate is based on segregation, trying to bring racism back. I mean, and like I've always said, like a lot of us have said, you know, there are things in our society that we still need to work forward to. We still need progression with, but it's nowhere as bad as it was 50 years ago. And these people are the people in entertainments and the far leftists and all. They're have been trying to divide us by using various platforms to do so.
But they invented it again, man. They reinvented it. I mean, you just saw it in the McAuliffe campaign. You saw it with the Tiki Torch bullshit they tried to pull, right? You know, and everything else out there. This stuff makes me crazy. I have no room for it in my life.
Culture, I mean, we all know this. I mean, life is a circle. All these things that have disappeared at one point are going to come back around that circle again at some point. It's inevitable. It's always going to happen.
No.
But I will say that one of the things about a lot of these people that are starting to wake up and they're starting to see what's really going on, I don't think it's so much because they see all the divisiveness, that they see all the hate. I think that they've gotten to the point where they see that there's no end in sight, especially when it comes to this coof shit and the shots and the boosters and the pills that they want to force on people. That's where people are starting to wake up, because there's no end in sight to them. Well, they're becoming stuck, and the fear is just taking over, and there's no end to it. That's where they've gotten to.
But Tommy, it's like, take it if you want to take it. Like, that's not the issue. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their body.
It's a choice.
It's as a choice. It's when
pro-choice does not mean anti-vax.
Exactly.
But they've gotten to the point where they're not giving you a choice anymore, Stephen. They're saying in order for you to be certified that you got to keep getting all these boosters.
Go ahead, the culture. Go ahead.
Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals knocked down Biden's bullshit just a couple hours ago.
Oh, did they?
Nice.
Awesome. Wow. Already, that's impressive.
Okay.
I can't clap.
Mark, you got to be careful going around saying you're a proud man, because those racist fucks will mishear you and think you said proud boy.
Yeah.
Real quick before we go any further, Mexican Iron Man for 1999. Thank you so much, Mexican Iron Man. Says lies, all lies. # Team Midnight's Edge. # Sasha. Get her butt whooped by Maria and her puppet lightsaber. I was there. Truth hurts. Hail the panel. #
Mexican Iron Man. Thank you so much for your support. I saw your comment on the video earlier. I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would have said that until he brought up the fact that, guess what? Maria ain't here, and Drunk is, and he just said that he's my man. So I think I won.
Wow.
Dang, there's a fight going on.
Wait a minute. Drunk3PO is white?
What?
I thought he was quarter black.
No, he's a 3PO.
Well,
he's Android.
He's part of
that quiet because
he's part of the Dark Council. He's part of the Dark Council family. So you know what I mean.
Mixed up.
And one member of the Dark Council has called him white chocolate.
Hey, that's my nickname for him. No.
There's a lot of rumors out there.
Oh, that's no rumor. And I've actually got the clip.
Look, Jay is just handsome. That's it. That's all you got to say. Just starting in with it there.
Everybody stop simping for my man. Stop simping for my man. He's mine.
No, it's fine. You can have the man. That's not. I'm. You know what? I'm going to sit in the corner now.
Yeah, sit there and you think about what you just said.
So
You're in timeout.
why did we drag Mr. 3PO into this mess?
Who dragged you into this, Tom?
I don't know. I got like 3 links all of a sudden. I'm just like, all right.
Well, speaking of drunk and I did a great stream a few months back, or a couple of months back, where we were talking about our critical race theory, and just the way it's being put on, in the workplace and in the schools and everything, and just how unhealthy it is. There's just way too much of it going on, and it's really corroding the consciousness of our kids out here. Yeah, like nobody needs to feel like a
pushback too. Yeah.
Okay. Saggy's hand is getting tired.
Well, we're gonna have more.
So I'm gonna go lay down and let Saggy come on and get, because I need the energy for tonight for Drunk 3PO. So I'm gonna go. Thank you all for having me. I'm gonna go so Saggy can come back on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for being here.
I love you, Jay. Kisses and hugs. I'll see you tonight, baby.
I think, Jay, I think you're having a Me Too moment. I don't know. That's
no, but if he says no, then he's going to be puppet phobe.
Does he say no?
He can't say no.
You can't legally. You can't say no.
He's just a bot who can't say no, baby.
That's the best thing is now I can start fat shaming women into dating me.
Yes. Oh,
sounds about right.
As Lando don't get a hold of him.
Look, that's another weird thing, right? So, like, you know what? We're gonna get in trouble. I will not be the man that takes down Steve.
You know who might be in trouble? Amber Turd.
Oh, what happened?
What happened?
Well, she's in Australia right now shooting Aquafina 2 or whatever the fuck the movie's called.
Aquafina 2.
Are you saying that she's pulling an Alec Baldwin on her?
Oh God!
Whoa! Well, here's what happened. Now, if you guys recall, rewind back to 2015 when she got into some trouble with Australia for smuggling her dogs into the country.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, turns out that it came out in that court case that really made Mr. Pirate Guy look really bad in England last year.
Mm-hmm.
There was some information that came out in that case that didn't make the authorities in Australia too happy. Turns out she knew the whole time she wasn't supposed to bring the damn dogs in. And now they're not too happy about them lying to her. So she might be facing some trouble for perjury.
Wow.
Anything involving Amber Heard, I don't care about.
We can't say the name.
I have no empathy for her no more.
Andy,
I know I'm not saying that.
Thank you so much for the 109 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Andy.
Thank you, Andy. Amber Turd. I don't have any interest in her anymore. Really?
I just thought that was funny.
She nearly took out Momoa's eye. I mean, this chick is bad news walking.
Karma like a mofo.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like a bigger version. She's just a clout chasing like D-level actress who like got smashed by somebody who was A-level, and she's garbage.
She in her future is Kathy Griffin.
She's just the poster child for everything that is wrong, for everything that we're just talking about. Like she is.
Oh, it's always the hot ones. It's always the hot ones that are crazy, man.
That hot crazy matrix is true. Yeah. That is all true.
And you never, Mark knows this. You never give him your name, your real name. No, man.
Mark knows this.
Yeah,
what are you trying to pull?
I've been saying this for years. Never
spoken to Mark in your life. How do you know?
I have a. You know, I'm going to go sit somewhere.
Wait a minute. Aren't you an actress?
He's putting himself in time.
I want to hear more about this story. What's going on between
Legend
and Mark? This is intriguing. This is
nothing.
saucy.
I have streamed with him a few times. Drunk's being mean to me. I don't know why.
Drunk's just getting sassy because you pointed out Mark is the pipe layer and not him.
Oh my God.
He's been bullying. Listen, he's been bullying everybody this week.
You know, he has been. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he's salty.
You've been bullying everybody. You bullied me. You bullied Conceal Culture now. I don't know.
It's Drunk 3PX.
You know what it is? I know what it is.
Escalating.
I know why Jay is upset, but I'm not gonna say no.
He wore his Halloween costume on the stream, and the punishment's real. Right? I'm just saying, because he was a turkey.
He was a turkey, and he couldn't gobble. By the way, now that I have you here, because we've never actually talked on
What's
a stream,
up, Mads, baby?
But I gotta call Drunk out because we had beef, and the beef was I called him out because he didn't know how to gobble. He was in a turkey suit, and the man just said gobble gobble. Turkeys don't gobble gobble. They go woo, or something like that. They make a gurgling noise, and I was very upset.
Break it to you, but beef comes from cows, not turkeys.
No, it's true.
What?
You've got poultry.
Yeah, you've got poultry.
You've got poultry.
I was just mad. He didn't gobble. Listen, the man didn't gobble right, and it triggered me. I don't like people who can't gobble.
Man, Steven, you look good, man. Look like you're like de-aged, lost a little weight.
Yeah,
Florida will do you, man.
I know. I've been here for months.
The classic redirect.
I've been here for months. You haven't come to give me a hug. I thought you were gonna come,
See, first of all, when people move to Florida, you got to give them like 6 months because you're probably still sweating profusely.
I was actually cold today.
Just by walking to the bathroom. Like once your sweating stuff catches up to Florida weather, then I'll come over and touch you. But other than that,
Jay, I was planning on sweating all over you.
I mean, I lived in Florida and I came right back to New England because I couldn't. I had a scooter. And I love having a scooter. It's great in Florida, but the way it always randomly rains, it's annoying because like it'll start to rain. I'm like, now I gotta pull over and find a store to stay until the rain stops in about 10 minutes. Then I start going again, and they'll rain again. I'm like, all right, gotta pull over and stop for another 10 minutes for the rain.
And it'll rain for like 1 mile, and then won't, and then it'll be raining another mile. I don't get that shit.
Right, the rain was very inconsistent out in Florida, but I'll tell you what.
Yeah, but it doesn't rain all day.
It doesn't rain all day. But
I just want to ask a question. So you were saying Steven was fat and ugly before?
Damn.
By his own admission.
Oh, okay. All right. Just check.
Damn.
I may have been a little overweight.
I never called him that, but by his own admission, he was like he had bowel problems, some clammy skin.
Oh yeah.
Something was going on with his hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what all that.
Well, Jay, you know that his new product helped clean all that bloating out for him. So
maybe that's what it is. But he looks good.
Jay, tell me why Tommy's making an ass scented candle. He said he's actually going to sell.
Why am I here? What is happening?
Candles.
Lord Jesus.
Well, your face under it, under Rogue Entertainment.
No,
so
don't do
the
that.
whole new liabilities to this.
That's Rogue Entertainment brand. Yeah.
And me and Mark are wondering why we're here.
I'm wondering now too.
You're not the only ones.
That's what happens. Guests come on the show and then weird shit happens. We have subjects.
Never come back.
I tried to warn you from the chat, man.
We have subjects. We have subjects. We should cover a subject. I dare you.
Subjects, yeah, subjects.
Absolutely.
Like a king,
Brightest
you
day
mean?
for
Like your
$2.
royalty.
No.
Your royal subjects.
No. I like content, like articles. And,
no, we weren't going to do that today. We were just doing bullshit. Brightest day for $2. Are we not doing phrasing anymore? I don't know why you're here.
Okay, bye.
Now you make culture pout.
For the record, we started the stream with a puppet.
Eat that.
Yes, sir.
Let's pick up on it. Let's pick up on the topic, brother.
All right.
Where you at?
I wanted to talk actually about that Chris Pratt situation. Because I watched Jay's video on that earlier, and I filed that. And as a parent, I'm looking at that going, so they're coming at him for, I just it's weird. Like he says, a healthy child. It's like it's not like he's saying anything. It's not a shot at his son. And as somebody again who has a son who has some minor disabilities and things like that, it was like I would never have interpreted it that way as somebody who like follows Chris Pratt and is a fan of his. I'm like, this man gets so much hate for doing literally nothing wrong. Like, I mean, nothing wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong since Star-Lord, on Titan. But but that was a character. This is the real man, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
I could tell you now. Before you share that, Steven, can you share my screen? I dug up some evidence, and this is the issue right here. They found a tweet from February 11th, 2011.
What?
2011 from Chris Pratt saying, "If I wasn't an actor, I'd be a cop, probably crooked, on the payroll, turn a blind eye to corruption, shoot a dude, plant a gun, the usual." And they are trying to destroy. Look, I mean, people are tagging like Nintendo and all the movies saying, "Look at your guy." He was obviously being sarcastic and trying to call out, crookedness and stuff like that's just how he is. If you know Chris Pratt and follow him for years, his sarcastic, over the top humor like that, that's just how he always is. That's why the Instagram post about his wife, people are calling that out because he's like, oh, she's almost as valuable to me as my Ken Griffey Jr. baseball card, which we know that's not. It's just his.
Well, it goes beyond that, Jay. I think it has more to do with his divorce from Anna Faris.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like this tweet here has just taken off the last week.
No, you're right.
And it's just like they're just trying to do anything they can, but the Anna Faris thing was part of the Instagram nonsense.
And the reason for that is just because they're trying to paint her as a victim. But I did a little research, and honestly, best I can tell, it was probably just as much or more her fucking fault they broke up than his. I can't find anything other than she's been married twice and had the same issue twice before.
She cheated on him, didn't she?
I think so, but she didn't say that. But she did say that there was a competitiveness in her marriage, just like her first two marriages. Right. So to me, it sounds like she was the fucking problem, not him. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know for sure.
I don't understand the hate against Chris Pratt, but at the same time, I'm starting to just realize a pattern of behavior when it comes to fans.
I can tell you, he went to a church.
Yep.
He goes to a church that 15 years ago, the pastor was talking about homosexuality. Mm-hmm. And they found an old clip of the pastor preaching that, and they started harassing Chris about the church that he attends and the pastor that preaches. The girl that's just changed to a guy now, the actress Paige, what's her name?
Elliot
Page did this whole thing about how Chris Pratt shouldn't be in Hollywood, how he's a trans, how he's this, how he goes to church, how he goes to that.
Elliot Page started this.
So they did this whole thing, and it went back and forth to the point where every time Chris Pratt went on like Tonight Show, they brought it up, and he kept saying over and over, he's like, no, we welcome everybody there, this and that. So it's from that whole movement, the same people that went after Gina Carano, like all that whole movement, they just don't let up.
I mean, it's people going after conservatives, really.
My stance is
white guys.
My stance is the incident that happened with Gina, the stuff that's happened with Chris Pratt. It's like I saw the situation, and I understood to a little degree why people might have been a little bit upset. Cool. But also people don't understand that they have to look into it past that. Okay, now I'm a little bit upset. Well, let's find out why. Let's see why, what's going on. And people don't look past it to kind of find rationality and understanding. Like the thing with Gina, did she? I understand people upset about the reference, but to me, I was like, I don't think that was the biggest huge deal. And I've said that many times. Like, people are allowed to be people and have opinions and live lives and go to church and be in politics. But if it doesn't agree with what other people think, now we have to cancel them all. And it starts ticking me off because, so what do you want these actors to do? Not live their lives, not be who they are, just to cater to what you want them to be? That's not fair.
That's exactly it, Saggy. They have to
not fair.
Adhere to a certain specific ideal. That's
what it's and as far as I can tell, Chris Pratt never says anything.
That's right.
You don't
no, but Jay hit the nail on the head. It's that church.
He's not preachy.
It's the fact that he's associated with that church. They've used that as a linchpin to call him a homophobe and a transphobe and everything.
Well, check it out though. Obama. Obama was associated with that church. What was that guy, Wright or whatever it was?
Jeremiah Wright.
Jeremiah Wright was saying some seriously offensive shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Obama can get elected to be the president twice. So there is no type of rhyme or reason to these people and who they choose to crucify. Obviously, if you're white and you're male, to these people, you're low-hanging fruit. That's where they'll go. Because if they did go after like an Obama or something like that, then it's like, what? Are you racist? You could totally be racist. Correct. You know what I mean?
But,
so
by the way,
all that is.
The wake down, Stephen, that comment, the last comment, the wake down, nailed it. Okay. Nailed it. That comment right there, nailed it. They don't. People don't want to hear your opinion. They want to hear their opinions coming out of your mouth. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because again, actors are people. Everyone forgets that. Oh well, they should be this way. Why? They do a job just like you and me. We go to work every day. These actors go to work every day. It's a job. Well, they are working.
Gina told us about it in that interview, right? Like she flat out said the animosity started coming as soon as she started asking questions, as soon as she started looking into herself as far as like voting and politics. And as soon as they realized she wasn't going along with their narrative and their game, that was when she became the enemy, right? Like didn't matter how nice she was, didn't matter who loved her, didn't matter what she has done to that point, didn't matter anything about her. You know, it just mattered of what she decided she wanted to do politically with her life. Not that I see that's anybody's fucking business.
But the problem though is that before social media, people didn't care people cared about actors, but they didn't have access to actors, right? Now social media, we have access to public figures and celebrities. We have access because they share their lives with us, and that's fine. Then people start realizing, oh well, I like this actor, but oh wait, they're Democrats or they're this or that. Now it's a problem. My thing is, what it comes down to, in my personal opinion, is if I looked at Gina, we'll take Gina as an example, right? When I saw Gina said, I'm the type of person who would have been like, baby girl, I'm cool with you. I got no beef with you, but let me explain to you why I feel some type of way about that. Calmly and respectfully. But when you have thousands of people just raging at you, you're wrong, you're this, and labeling her things, why do people expect her to respond in kind? Honestly, I don't blame her at all for clapping back or pushing back against that, because she's a human. That's human nature. When people are attacking you, you get defensive, you're going to push back. But when celebrities do it, it's a problem.
Saggy, one of the things, though, I will say, it's not that we never had access to these people before. There's always been a certain amount of access to all these people that are in Hollywood. The only difference that social media made is they made that connection a lot faster than it used to be. Because before, you had to wait for articles to come out in magazines or in papers about them.
Right.
That was your way of getting a hold of them. Now it's all over the place at a lot faster of a rate.
Not just that, Tommy, you had publicists and other people get in the middle. So you didn't really, that's the biggest thing we've realized, is that all the celebrities are batshit fucking crazy idiots. Like, most people in the industry already knew this, but before social media, it was just a few that were that crazy that, you know, we knew about. Now we know most of them are.
Well, actors and famous people have always had stalkers, you know, people that, you know, overindulgent fans and things like that. One of the biggest issues, at least that I have seen, has been the use of social media platforms, the use of like puppets in entertainments to press a certain narrative, to create this kind of box, this echo chamber, where if you don't agree with them, if you don't agree with a certain narrative that's being pressed around, then you are on the outside. So there's a big confrontational feeling between people, regular people, and people in Hollywood and people in other entertainment spheres. And it's caused by these toxic groups, these truly toxic groups who will mass flag, mass attack, come after you, send their hate mobs after you, because and act like act like they're the majority when they're not. They're just the loudest people around us. And they can destroy careers, and they can take away opportunities, and they can create false narratives that are pressed all across media. What's happening with people like Chris or someone like Gina is that these are people that are just living their lives, have a difference of opinion than the majority around them, who are either genuinely feel the way they do or are helping to press a narrative, helping to change society to view things the way that they want. And they're getting caught up in it just because they're different, because they think differently. And this has been one of the major issues that I have seen coming from entertainments and the entertainment spheres and most social media for several years now. It's creating division, it's creating hate, and people simply forget that we're all humans trying to exist on this world, and that we all don't think alike.
Kurt Russell was right when he said that all actors should just shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter what side
why?
Why should they shut the fuck up?
Because
they shouldn't be out there talking about politics or religion.
Why? They're people. Why shouldn't they?
Because
I'm not. Listen, everybody on this panel, is anyone? Listen, raise your hand right now if you're a damn politician. Please raise your hands. Oh, right. I don't see no. Okay, maybe culture.
Well,
my point is,
the reason is because you are a brand when you're an actor. If you go out there, just like if McDonald's said, by the way, we're pro left and we hate the right, you just alienated half your fucking customer base, right? Like, that's the problem.
But here's my thing: no human being should be told that they cannot speak because of their job. I'm sorry, I hate that.
I'm not saying that part, but
if it's about how we react
two things, right?
Hey,
People
man,
make mistakes. People make mistakes.
These entertainers signed on a dotted line to get paid multi-millions of dollars. All right. So a lot of that comes from the fact that they bought you, they bought your name.
Yep.
Okay. So if they have a certain agenda that they want to attach to your image, then you're supposed to represent that image. It's just like when people walk on the red carpet, they ask you, so who are you wearing? Versace. Okay. So you're not going to walk out there wearing Versace looking like a bum. You have to wear it the way they want you to wear it. Your body has to be the way that they want it to be in order to model these clothes. So your individualism is pretty much signed away when you get into showbiz. They're not like us. You know what I mean? Like, we can come on here and say what we're saying, and chances are we're not going to go into the job on Monday and someone's going to say, you know what, I caught that live stream. You're fired. You know, you shouldn't have been saying that.
Yeah, but that's not out of the realm of possibility, though, either, Mark. That's the thing. There are a lot of people who stay very, undercover online because they are afraid of something like that. And again, it's not about freedom of speech.
Yourself.
It's about the reactions.
Alienating your audience. And if you're somebody like that, you're basically like a corporation, is what I'm getting at here.
But it's like it's the reaction that's a problem. Why are these companies afraid to let people talk about their opinions? Oh, because we're afraid you're gonna say something that's gonna tick people. They don't care if you believe in the spaghetti monster. Okay, they don't care. They don't care what your political beliefs and takes are. They only care now because of the reactions that we are reacting to when we see an actor post something about maybe that they're a Christian. Okay, now you got all the people who are against Christianity is mad. The companies don't want to deal with it. It's a headache for them, so they just tell them no, sit down and shut up. But I don't think that's right. I think that people need to learn how to react better. If somebody says something that comes across ignorant, educate them so they're less ignorant. If you're yelling at them and labeling them things, they're not being educated. They're going to be stuck saying ignorant things, and you're part of the problem, not the solution, in my opinion.
Well, Saggy, I mean, part
what
of
gets me mad.
Saggy, part of that problem is you want people to actually look at the good in something that somebody says. And let's just take an example. If you take a review from a fast food restaurant that you went to, if you had horrible service, you are more likely to go on and bitch about that horrible service that you got, as opposed to some place that you had excellent service at. It's the same thing. Once people see the negative, that's all they're going to start attacking. They're not going to talk about the good aspects.
And I don't disagree about the reaction thing. Yeah, a lot of people just need to chill the fuck out. But the thing is most sane people don't give a shit. And that's my point. Like, they don't care what your religion or politics are. So they just assume you keep it to yourself in privacy, because guess what? If you do go out there and preach about it, it basically comes off as the person who's like basically saying, oh, by the way, your beliefs are wrong, and this is why you should believe what I say. And I have power and influence. Hence, you should understand and believe what I say no matter what, and take it verbatim. And we've actually had basically celebrities be busted for taking money for propaganda use from the government now. So I like the approach like Chris Pratt takes. The reason he's being attacked is because he won't go out there and speak about this shit, because he keeps it to himself, because it is his own personal private business, and he doesn't feel like it's everybody else's business. And I'm the same way. You ask me as a personal person between a one-on-one conversation what my certain beliefs are and certain things, I'll give it to you. I give my opinion on these shows as far as that goes, but I'm also not like some people in this community where they have to worry about going in Monday morning to a job and facing a boss saying, well, what were you doing on YouTube talking about this, that, and the other? Like, because that is a real thing in real life, and it's not just celebrities. If you're a police officer, a teacher, anybody right now, and we have this one-sided situation, right? That's the bigger problem we have here. It's not so much.
It happens.
Yeah. It's not so much even that, people shouldn't be able to speak out on what they want to speak out about, or, be private about it, or the other. That's what we're looking at here now. Like, they're pretty much trying to force Chris Pratt's hand. It was the same thing with Gina on the whole trans thing with the beep bop boop and the pronoun thing, right? They're trying to force people's hands here when people don't necessarily want to put that out in public, right? Like, there's no reason I should have to put my pronouns or what my sexual preference is out on a fucking social media platform when it's nobody else's business. Right?
If you're in a position of influence, everything else. I think if you're in a position of relative influence, I think that's when you're going to feel the most pressure, relatively speaking. And I would, I point to hip hop, for example. Growing up a hip hop kid and everything back in the day. When you write rhymes and stuff, you're basically writing from your heart. You know, chances are you're not going to be writing about your penis and your jewels and stuff like that, but somehow that's what dominates hip hop, you know? So it's like, you want to ask yourself, what's going on in the hood? What's going on with, these black kids out here? Look at what's being fed to them for the last 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? And you see the level of influence negatively. You know, we're talking right now, the negative influence that you're feeding into those communities, into those kids. You know, it takes nothing to get on a mic and say, go get an education. You know, it's good to be a father. You know, it's good to be married. It's good to be positive in life. But that's not what you get when you turn the radio 24 hours a day. All you get is I'm shooting niggas. I'm killing people, you know? And then you wonder what's going on with these kids when they get in school. And you can tell that they hate their lives. They hate their family, you know, and that's what's going on. So you have to ask yourself, who's paying these ignorant dudes all this money to get on a mic and say all these crazy things to these kids? And why? Why are they multimillionaires all tatted up from head to toe, you know, teeth all gold and looking ignorant, you know, because they know that they influence them and they want them to influence them.
There is a certain level of responsibility that you have as a public figure, and I don't even care if you have a small YouTube channel or you're a big actor or you're a big name. There is a level of responsibility to what you say, because people will take that. If you have fans, they're going to take it and run with it. If you have people that really enjoy your content, they're going to take that position, perspective, and adapt it to themselves. So there is a level of responsibility that we all have. And I agree with Mark. I'm sorry, Saggy. Go ahead, sweetie.
Well, I was gonna say Mark is 100% right, because I have a relative when he was young, 10 years old. All right, so growing up, he was listening to music, growing up, and then all of a sudden, like one day he's just like, I'm gonna go live in the hood. And I'm like, boy, what you talking about? You live in a nice house. What do you mean you're gonna go live in the hood? He's like, I want to be a rapper. I was like, I'm done. I'm like, boy,
Don't tell me about it.
Boy,
I used to grow up with kids
that stuff
shit.
used to make me so mad. I'm like, you do realize the rappers that you're listening to, like the old school ones, were rapping so they can get out of the hood. That was the whole point. They use their story. So you want to go from living in a nice home, you got your mother, you're living okay. You're gonna go live in the hood so you can be a rapper.
Well, listen to like the 80 to 88 stuff. Like a lot of that was positive, and the raps that were done were really well thought out.
And it wasn't done from a political point of view usually either.
They were telling their experience.
Exactly, Saggy. And I agree with you 110%. Like, all artists should be able to express their art any way they want. Right. And that's one thing you can do, right? Nobody is stopping you from doing that. What's his face from Growing Pains has made a dozen fucking movies that nobody likes, but he still does it, right? Because it's his choice. Kirk Cameron. Yeah. Like, he's made like some of the worst rated movies ever, but it's just his thing he does with his choice, and he went in that direction and whatever. Like, you can do that if you want to, but you're going to alienate a lot of people, and that's your choice. And I think Chris is playing it right, even though he's being, torn through the mud for it. But like, look at the difference here between stuff like, NWA and all those guys used to do back in the day when they would talk about that lifestyle, compared to when Kanye West come out and said George Bush doesn't like black people. Like, he instantly like polarized his audience, right? Like, it was just, why did you go political all of a sudden? And to, as an artist, to do something like that, I mean, yeah, a lot of artists always have had political leanings. Go back to the 60s, and especially during the Vietnam era, you had a lot of that stuff. But so much of that, if you look back on it now, if you really know the history, we can see a lot of the same problems multiplied now, because then they were like innocent mistakes. Now they're being made on purpose. And it's these actors who see this as, I have this platform, so not only that, I have a responsibility, but they see it as a virtue signaling responsibility. And they just go out there and they use this mass audience to push a narrative that somebody has either coerced them into doing, paid them to do, or maybe they do naturally believe, but they're complete ignorant fools and don't completely understand the message they're putting out there, right? Like, and that's, to me, the biggest problem is, I don't go to a celebrity to get information about politics or religion. I would go to, whatever set religious leader I would decide to go to. And as far as politics, I'd like to do my own research, and especially not trust the media. and I see celebrities as part of the media in that respect.
Well, I think one of the things Mark was actually hitting on with the music when he was talking about rap too, because I seen that all growing up too. Is there's another underlying factor, and that's what is the fad at the time. If the fad at the time is talking about murdering people on your block, everybody else wants to get on that because that's the hot topic, and that's the thing that's going to be able to sell records and to be able to move their music on the radio stations. And I think that's one of the things that you were saying, Mark, unless I missed it.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that I was there when the change happened. You know what I mean? It's like I was on the street. I was in the street when it was all about Public Enemy, when it was all about uplifting where you live and everything. And then things just drastically changed, you know, and the feeling changed. And I remember at the time, because I was actually thinking I was going to be a rapper back then. But I remember thinking to myself, I can't even do the things that I rhyme about. I can't rhyme that anymore, because unless I'm talking about killing people and how much I hate women and all this stuff, I'm irrelevant, you know? So you couldn't even get a record deal if you were talking about things that were positive. You were supposed to be soft at that point. Everybody wanted to be gangster. And of course, I love Snoop Dogg and all that stuff back then, but there was a balance, you know, and even Snoop, he would even say, I'm playing a character. You know what I'm saying? This isn't something that's supposed to be real.
Tupac
they weren't
is another great example too.
Yeah, they weren't glamorizing it so much, you know, but now everything is just, the humanity is gone, the love is gone, the good feelings are gone. And that's not by accident, because that's not like, I can't allow myself to think that way. Some other people might be on the outside looking in and just, you know, it might be easy to sit on your sofa and say, that's the way those people are. But shit, man, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. I can't afford to think that that's what we are. You know what I mean? I know, because it's who I'm, you know what I mean? It's like, I know my heart. I know the heart of the people that I grew up with. These people are traitors. They're absolute traitors. And they're putting us out there. So when you get pulled over by cops and shit, and, you know, you're already stressed out because you're listening to this stressful, you know, just destructive music. So now you're already on edge. You know, you think the cops are out to get you because the media is always feeding this into you. You know, the whole CRT thing, once again, they're pushing that you're a victim. Like, you're starting kids off this way. And you're ultimately, they're losing their lives over this. You know what I mean? Because they hate themselves. They hate the establishment. And it just goes and goes and goes. They got a lot of blood on their hands, man.
Creating a lack of faith.
It's all propagated by a false narrative. That's it. It's the great lie. It's the great lie. And like you said, you have entertainers that are like, they're paid to push this, and it's like they get incentivized to push it. And you look at, and it's like selling your soul, basically. That's what they do. They sell their soul for that.
It's worse because they're selling the soul of the people.
Exactly.
You know, you can sell your soul.
Yeah, but
when you get on a microphone,
millions of fucking innocent kids. Yeah, exactly. And it does. It casts a bad light on something, and it's like, why are we doing this in the first place? And then, like you said, and if somebody steps off, like you always call it the mental plantation. Like, look at Larry Elder in California. They crucified that man. They crucified him in the media.
That's right.
They crucified him, and it's like, what? Why? Because he doesn't follow your narrative. That's why, and it's pathetic. And it's
God forbid they teach people to be accountable for themselves.
Right.
You know, God forbid you teach them that they can actually achieve something. You know, there are more kids. I did a video talking about that. There are more kids who are dying all over the country of gun shots in their own community, gun violence, than they ever died from COVID.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't hear people talking about that. That's not on Branda's agenda.
Well, that's one of the things that was lost, Mark. I mean, it was definitely lost, teaching common sense and teaching self-respect to these kids. And a lot of that started at home and, of course, in the schools, too. And that's been lost along the way.
What does the drunk 3PO think
about
everything that's being talked about?
I don't want to take up too much time. Basically, it's there's a book that came out in the 70s that's called Rules for Radicals.
Saul Alinsky.
And Alinsky wrote it. And the sad reality is that there are Democrats that are very good people that want to put the money back into the people. There's good Republicans too, but right now we're just focusing on the crazies on both sides. The pendulum is swinging way left, or it'll swing way right. We're not in the middle anymore because there's no money in it. There's no money there. And in that book, Rules for Radicals, these people are playing that book to a T. Where there's one, I think rule number 4 is where it's like, if you can't convince people, shatter their character. And if you shatter their character, they'll shut up and comply. And so it's like they're playing this to it. They're going through that book. The guy who wrote that book, like, dedicated that book to Satan. I mean, he's freaking crazy. He was Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's mentor.
Yep.
And other people too. Like, and it's not, like I said, it's not just left. It's like people are playing that book, and people don't understand. Like, he talked about infiltrating the education system, then infiltrate the healthcare. When you make people dependent on you, then they have no choice. And at that time, it's all about money. So all this stuff, like Mark said at the beginning of the stream, look how much money these people made. So the reason why they're pushing this weird agenda, because you keep going, it all comes back down to money. And that's where the rebellion starts. That's why we're doing this whole Welcome to Rebellion thing, because it's like, we don't want to give them our money anymore. Like, let me spend my money on Red Gaze's book, Fatal J's comic, Ninja Blast is freaking.
They never gave me credit for coming up with that. I told them put it on.
That thing is freaking amazing. That thing is amazing.
Never gave me credit.
This guy worked for a serious moment. This guy worked his ass off. And most people don't even realize the things that he sacrificed. He sacrificed for this. He doesn't owe anybody credit. Nobody but himself. He worked his freaking ass off on this thing. I mean, he spent money he didn't have. I mean, I know because we know behind the scenes. You guys didn't know, but I knew behind the scenes. And it's just like, that's what the rebellion is all about. It's just like, we're tired of giving comic books our money. I just did an article on my live stream where everyone's saying they're probably going to kill Kal-El so this Jonathan Kent character can take over Superman for the movies, for the comics, for the books, for this bisexual Superman and all this stuff like that. So they, that's just so they can push all this stuff. And it's just like, welcome to the rebellion, man. It's like we can only laugh at this stuff for so long. We can only make light of it for so long to where it's like, now what are we going to do? How long can I freaking complain on my YouTube channel on how bad movies are? Because we already have over so many times. They just suck.
Yeah.
They just suck. Like right now we're just fighting with the actors at this point where they're saying, oh no, it's racist. And you're just like, okay, soon that's just going to fade away. But it's like, trying to inspire people, I whatever everybody does on their live streams is their business, but I know on mine, like I try to at least take 30 minutes of my time to at least support somebody who, like today we did someone that had an Etsy store and she knits hats and scarves. I took, 15, 20 minutes to push it, and she broke, she sold a bunch of her stuff, a ton of her stuff. And so that's what it's about. It's like, let's give her money instead of going to some other place, to buy the same thing that's promoting whatever, but it's not easy. It's not easy. This morning, in my devotional, I was reading where it was like, go through the narrow gate, and just kind of like trying to understand what going through the narrow gate is very difficult. Most people would go through the wide gate. That's really easy. And it's like, most people won't take that chance to go fulfill their dreams and take a step because it's difficult. But if they surround themselves and hear encouragement and figure out all that stuff, maybe they will. And Hollywood would take a listen to what we're all trying to do here. The fact that Midnight's Edge, I love the fact that Midnight's Edge goes live, especially when I'm at work. But I love that they go live during John Campea. I've told that to Tom forever, because Campea used to be the only one. And we all know, like, half the stuff
we're actually beating some of his numbers sometimes.
Oh, you guys are doing great, man, and I love it. And it's just, but I mean, when Disney Plus came out, he's wearing a Disney Plus hat.
Yeah.
When this movie comes out, he complains a little bit here and there, but it was like nobody stood up to Campea, and then Midnight's Edge shows up, and it's like, it's little things like that where it's like, we're tired of falling in line with everything. but it's not easy. Taking that step to get to that place is hard. And hopefully with this whole welcome to rebellion, the rebellion stuff, people want to design shirts, people want to write books, people want to make comic books. It's like taking Fatal J's energy and asking him how he did it so it will encourage the next person that wants to do it. I know Stephen Walton has a bunch of books that ain't the Phantom Menace stuff that he needs to get out. And I've told him that on the phone a million times. I was like,
also
get that freaking crap out, man, because you're a great writer.
Well, we're seeing it.
But he's stressing himself out over this other one. I was like, man.
And I appreciate that. Well,
we support you, man.
We know
and
it's about trees, but it's okay. Put it out
but
there.
Red Gaze's stuff is amazing. I have his first. I didn't think I got the second one. I think I missed it, but I have his first one. It's incredible work, and the whole story. It was actually Red Gaze who I spoke to privately, who helped me while I'm working on my universe that'll be coming out next year. And it's just surrounding yourself with people. Man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so like this whole podcast that I decided, because YouTube sucks, man. I'm so over chasing numbers, chasing analytics, it's just every day they drain 50 subs from me, whatever. My views are what
I can't even stream right now. I can't do shit.
My freaking haters are laughing at me because they're like, oh, you don't get the same views you did. Well, I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. But it's like, it's not about that. It's just taking a step, man. And sometimes you got to take it alone. And this whole podcast is to interview ordinary people. You know, Tom's name is on that list. Culture. I already told Steven I want to get him on. Mark's going to be on there multiple times, but it's just ordinary people that just took a step to do something creative or something different that's not under the bubble of what we see. I know I've taken a lot of time.
Jay, I just want to ask you before you finish up, though, but wouldn't you say that a lot of these really bad movies, comics, toys, and everything else that we've been seeing over the years is the catalyst that actually made a lot of people step into that direction and start creating things on their own?
Well,
because they wanted to have that feeling that they had when they were a child or when they were younger.
I think it's more than that. I think it's when this bubble that we live in now they just stop listening to the consumer, and now they just want you to eat. And when you don't like a film or you don't like a show, it's because you're either racist or you hate women or you're an anti this or you're that. I have in my wildest dreams that I ever thought for not liking a film that I was one of those phobias, like whatever they want to call us. Yep. 2020 was the year of the transphobe. 2021 is the year of the anti-vax. And who knows? And it's just, they're just thinking up new names to call us, you know, for not liking what they want. So it's like, all right, I've had enough. You know, it's like, I'm going to put my money somewhere. I haven't been to the movies forever. So it's like Sonic the Hedgehog, when they listened to the fans, I wasn't even going to see that movie. Remember, they changed it. I went and saw it twice just because of that.
Same.
I think the second time I might have slept, but it was
I was never into Sonic, but the one thing I did though, Jay, is my daughter was huge into it, so I made sure I bought her tickets to go see it a couple times.
The last thing, and I'm doing that. Forgive me, I know there's a lot of people on here, and I will that Fatal J rant wasn't a cut on Tom because Tom said he didn't give me credit. Like that.
No, I was talking about the Welcome to Rebellion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I don't give whatever. He don't.
I said put that on a T-shirt. Welcome to the Rebellion. You're like, that's a good idea.
The last thing I want to say is that this kind of thing that Mark is talking about is infiltrated I run the theme park channel for Geeks and Gamers. Little did I know the big business with theme park YouTubers till one of them sat me down and basically asked me, has Disney contacted you yet? I was like, no. He goes, if your channel gets to about 30,000, they might. I was like, what makes you say that? He goes, they buy all these YouTubers. They basically put them on a payroll to tell them to say nice things about Disney and say, yeah, you can go to other theme parks, but you got to make sure you push the number one. And so it's like, you see these people, and I'm not saying all of them are, but you can, now that I've seen them and met them, I could tell now who it is. And it's just like, it's just bought and paid. Like, we just live in a society of people being so fake that you don't know what's real anymore. And it's like, you know, you watch somebody and you're like, he's got a good presence. He's very happy. He does these videos. But in his back pocket, Disney's saying, push this, push that, tell everyone it's good, tell them that the kids are going to have a good time, tell them that, tell them this, tell them that. And it's like, okay, then that's not his real opinion. He's basically getting paid to do a commercial. And it's like, you know, you just wonder, like, no, and listen, I don't fault them for making that money, because like that, at the end of the day, like, you got to make that money. But it's still like, you just wonder where the line gets drawn, you know? And if that's from theme parks, that's going to be from television shows. It's going to be from influencers. That's going to be people that you watch. It's going to be some of your favorite YouTubers. It's going to be, sometimes it would be me. Look, I push a clothing line from 9line. Not everyone's going to agree with 9line's policy, right? You know, and it's just, it's just one of those things where the rebellion comes in, and it's like, we're going to do our own thing. That's what I believe. I believe in this.
That is why I said, and I know it was a hot take, but when you say, like, you know, people are so fake, exactly. That's why I stand with, like, when people are like, celebrities should shut up. I'm like, I like realness. I like people to be real. If I don't agree with you, at least you are real. At least you stand by your convictions. I will respect and support your decision to do so.
Right.
That's why this stuff ticks me off when people got mad at Gina or Chris Pratt.
Right.
They're real people. They're being themselves.
The whole Gina thing was this. Under her contract, she was under contract not to do certain things, which is true. If Coca-Cola wants to hire Drunk3PO to say drink Coca-Cola, you're not going to see me with a Pepsi in my hand, right? And I'm going to tell you Coke is better than Pepsi, because I'm getting $10,000 a month to say, you know.
And that was my point, is their opinions are generally
right.
bought
So
and paid for. Exactly.
Right. And so now you've stepped into this line when their contract is up, and you hear them say other things. People are like, what? Huh?
Right.
What? Because it comes across so fake at first, you just don't even know what's real anymore. And that's the thing, what Mark was saying with these rappers. It's like, I want to speak about life. I want to speak about love. I want to speak about this. I want to speak about this. But they're like, here's 100,000. All right. Give me some gold teeth. Let me talk about women. Let me talk about hoes. Let me talk about drugs. Let me talk about, you know, shooting police off, like whatever they say.
I'm an island boy. Well, yeah,
No,
I have no
white
idea what
boys.
these fucking kids are saying.
Well, I'm just saying, you say that. Someone hands you $100,000. How many island boys are going to be made?
Right.
You know,
Right.
So that's the problem. So the whole rebellion thing is being real in what you believe in, what your passion is, and making it work for you. And I hope to have many people on the podcast that are just like, this is what works for me. And I'm glad I took that step. Glad I took that step out of the boat and walked on water a little bit.
Hell yes, brother.
Yeah, man.
No, but
anyway, that was it. That was my big old.
Can I just personally thank Saggy Melons for saying, "Drunk, what do you think?" Because he probably wouldn't have said any of that if you didn't give him permission to.
I tried.
My dude over here was sitting here on the panel the most of the time like this while we were going off, and I even said that. I'm like, Drunk, why don't you say that? And I was like, nah, Drunk sat looking like he got something to say.
I was sexting him.
Listen,
that's what
a lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people need that. One of the things I learned, Drunk, when we went out there for the meet and greet, a lot of those people were saying, we get so much from listening to all of us who are on here now. Like, we all have to remember that there are people, I don't care, like, if you get hung up on the fact that there's 10 people, you know, in the chat or whatever, if you're touching 1, 2, 3 people, they're going back out there and they're spreading that.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what you know, the girl was saying that I was talking to. She was like, thanks to you guys, I don't have to apologize for how I feel. I don't have to feel like it's just me who feels this way. You know, so there's a lot of positivity that's happening just by us doing what we do.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
You got to remember that.
Go ahead, Red, I'll go.
I'm just going to say, man, like, if you got the passion, you get it done. And when people see your passion, that inspires other people to get it done. And that's why I'm continuously telling people, like, look, if you got a story to tell, find a way to tell it, get out there with it, you know, because like Jay was saying, we need more people being real, you know, just with real stories, with real things to offer, rather than just, you know, political points of view and messaging. Enough with it. And also, like you said, yeah, we can only laugh at it for so long. We have to do something about it. And I'm really glad to see people stepping up and doing stuff about it.
That's exactly it. You know, like I started this about 3 years ago, you know, the whole Fandom Menace backlash to The Last Jedi, and it drove me crazy. Like Jay was saying, why am I an Isterophobe? Because I don't like the direction of a movie, because I think this movie sucks. And then you begin to understand the underlying tones, the reason that certain decisions are made, creative choices are made. They're not really creative. It's to press someone, it's to project someone else's insecurities or hatreds. We see this everywhere, all over the landscape. And people have lost their jobs. People have been doxxed. You know, just the amount of fear, separation, division that is created due to all of this. Just people, just hateful people wanting to project wanting to project lies, insecurities, fears, or divide people so that they can make money from it is staggering. And one of the reasons that I assembled the team that I have, I'm glad Jay explained Welcome to the Rebellion, what that means to him. And that those of us who kind of started around the same time, we've all gone in different directions, but we all have the same feelings. You know, the reason that I got Red Gaze, he's running Rogues Galleries, promote independent creators, promote independent books, because, you know, we want to do that for the sake of doing it. We want new stories out there. We want people to feel like they can make their dreams come true. A lot of our shows are about just promoting truth, being real, going rogue, you know, on ETEP's channel. You know, Collectible Past with Tommy, he just started a show with Vinnie talking about the things that we love from the past and why we love them, because you've got people out there who are repurposing older franchises and presenting them as, well, we changed it like this so it's not about white supremacy. He-Man was never about white supremacy. What you talking about? You know, like, it's that people love these things because they like these things. Just all the false narratives that are being projected. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Steven. Finish.
No, all the false narratives.
The thing is, everyone has a passion that they have. Some people like talking. Some people good listeners. Some people good writers. Some people want to make it on YouTube. Some people want to make it on Twitch. Some people want, I don't know, and make a newsletter. It doesn't matter. Clothing line, everything. We live in a time where anything that you want to do, you could probably accomplish. Even make fan films with your cell phone. Like, that's just the reality. You have to do what you want to do with what you have. I started my YouTube channel with an iPhone 8, and I had a fake microphone that I talked into, and that's how Drunk3PO got started. Yeah. So it is what it is. I wanted to do it, and that was that. But,
well, you know, Jay, when you're talking about doing some of that stuff, that was one of the things that I did early on. I tried doing like a few of the like little fan films, and I did them my way. It's not like I have a budget to be able to shoot anything spectacular. I don't have none of the fancy apps to be able to like make all kinds of crazy lightsaber or splash effects with blood, but I just did it my way just to have fun. And that was one of the things I did early on. I made a few of these fan films just for fun because I enjoyed it. And it was the same reason, like when I was started talking about toys and shit, is because it's something I enjoyed, and I didn't hear a lot of other people talking about what they enjoyed. They'd rather talk about what they hate.
Well, the thing is, like, my point was, if it's something that you love, you have to mentally be ready to go it alone. Too many times people are expecting to be leveled up by others. You cannot expect that. You have to try. You have to go it alone, no matter what. Listen,
I love this man.
I made videos, whatever. My channel was at 8,000 subscribers. I made videos just like 100 other people defending Gina. For whatever reason, Gina reached out to me. For whatever reason. That stuff can happen to anybody. She could have reached out to Gary. He has a bigger platform. Could have reached out to Jeremy. He has a bigger platform. It's just how it is.
You better look.
I don't know why she did, but she did. But all I'm saying is, it's like we have people quit all the time because they cry. I did a book, nobody promoted it. I do this and no one promotes it. I do this. You got to go out and promote it your damn self. You just have to. And when people see your passion and your energy and your willing not to quit, then people are drawn to that. Then you end up having a team of people that are like-minded, and then it begins to grow. It's just, I've just seen it too many times that people just quit right before they're about to get a breakthrough.
Well, Drunk, wouldn't you say that's probably because most people just don't even believe in themselves really in the beginning?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's what they're doing is comparing themselves to others. And when you compare yourself to others, you're just you're ending up as a failure. That's how it is. I can't be Ryan. I can't be Jeremy. I can't say, oh, Jeremy gets to go on Friday Night Tyson. I don't what is that? That's so stupid. All right. I have to, if I want a show like Friday Night Tyson, I'll make my own show. I'll do my own thing. And if I need to make it better and figure out how to get it better, then that's just how it is. But when people begin to compare themselves saying, oh, Red Gay's got a shout out by this person and that person, and I didn't, I might as well quit. Fatal J got a shout out from literally no one. No one. Now I know you guys here were shouting. I'm just saying, like, no one, none of the big boys or anything shouted out his comic book, unless I didn't know. But I asked them, it's like, Gary might have once, but like they weren't having him on and promoting his stuff. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The guy still hustled his butt off to get to where he beat his expectations. And it's just, he never quit and he never complained. That's the thing. He never said, that guy got a shout out and I didn't. That guy didn't do this, but I didn't. I didn't do that, but I didn't. And to me, when I watched him, it's just a nonstop inspiration of how I want to live. And, like on the Dark Council, we had the Dark Council kickoff Wednesday. And it hurt me, man. At the end of the show, like a bunch of trolls came in and were saying the most racist, hateful things for like 15 minutes. Like,
they attacked Scott. Yeah.
It was awful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Scott ain't black. All right. So they went after the black. They didn't talk about me. They went after Mark. They went after Fatal. They went after Callus, Abu Nas. They went after Lorena and said some of the most horrendous, you can't repeat it. It was that bad. They didn't tell you nothing about me. Wow. And it bothered me because I look at someone and I keep bringing him up. Forgive me. I'm looking at someone like Fatal J, who busted his butt for this comic book. And to just be belittled because of the color of his skin, and it's just not, it ain't right, it's just like, but Fatal never complained. He never complained. He just says, I'm just going to work harder. And that's the thing. We see Fatal J joking around, laughing, all that stuff. And I'm just telling you, man, full-time job, family man, children. And yet he was able to pull this off. That should speak volumes to anyone that's trying to do what he did. It should speak volumes. Like, absolutely. No one helped him. Like, no one, like that. And that's all I'm trying to say is, like, if you have a dream, it's not easy. It's the burn your boat mentality. I mean, that's just all it is. It's like pressing forward. People are going to say race remarks. Of course, keep going. Is anyone going to help you? Probably not. You keep going because there's no turning back. You can't get stuck crying to people that ain't helping you, because it just makes you look bad. And it's just a constant thing, and I can't praise him enough. So sorry for the whole thing. Like, that's just all part of it. It's like, we can all get hyped up. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But when it really comes down to put your foot forward, we can live in excuses and complain, or we can make time. Listen, people say, absolutely. Jay, how you work so much? I don't watch TV. I don't go to the movies. There's a lot of things I sacrificed to try to get to certain things, and that's just what you have to do. I wake up at 4:00 in the morning and go to work. I still have a full. It's not full time; it's part time. But I still have a job teaching, and I try to do this. And if it doesn't work out, I'll go back full time again. And at least I can't say I didn't try. So it's just one of those things. So I'm tired, man. I get tired, and I know everyone's trying to get me on it, but I'm tired. I'm traveling too, and it's but I want it, man. I want it, and no one, and I want it. I want it bad. We set the record. Listen, I'm sorry, and y'all can shut me up. These hats right here, Nine Line's a big company. The record for the hats was 300. They asked me, they said, how many hats are you going to sell? They didn't know who I was. They knew nothing about this nerd culture, nothing. They're like 2A people, Second Amendment military people. They said, will you at least sell 30? I asked them on the phone. They put me on the phone with some, I hate to say it, low-level employee. I said, what's the record? He goes, well. And I said, no, what's the record? He said, about 303, 299, 298. So in a 2-week span, because they only sell stuff in 2 weeks. I was like, all right, I think we're gonna go for the record. And he's like, okay. That's okay. Well, we just hope you get 30. I sold 306 hats in 24 hours. They had to take the hats off the store.
Damn, brother.
The president of Nineland called me and said, who are you? Why are you out selling Black Rifle coffee? Why are you out selling all these? Like, I could go down the list and name drop. I'm not going to do that. Why are you out selling all these people? I said, I don't know, man. This community just supports this movement. He said, all right, well, we're going to relaunch the hats when they get more in. We relaunched them, got more in, sold 700 in 2 days.
Beautiful.
Right? This is without Gina promoting it. This is without me going on any big channels and promoting it. This is without they weren't even paying advertisements. This is just me going on everywhere I could finally go and whatever avenue I had to push this thing. The shirts and hoodies came out. The best seller on the store every single day they've been selling. The best seller. So you know what? They're flying me out first class on Wednesday to their warehouse because they want to know me, who I am. And then they have it set up where I'm actually speaking to a bunch of other people selling shirts because they want to know who are you? When I was in Las Vegas for the meetup, the hats were I was supposed to promote the hats all week on John Bartolo and all these places that I had set up to push it. They had to take the hats down. One of the owners of Nineland flew out to Vegas just to meet me for 2 hours because he's like, who are you? That's basically what he said. Who are you? How are you selling so much? Now I've got other companies banging on my door saying we want to sell your shirt. So now what do? Go back to Nineland and say, hey. So, you know, it just happens, you know, and I didn't, you know, I'll praise Geeks and Gamers all day. Like, honestly, Jeremy and they've been nothing but amazing to me. And they always support me, always push, retweet, and everything they can. It's just, this whole community has just been awesome. But I didn't sit back and say, Jeremy, can you do all this for me? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the thing. I never sat back and did that, you know, and and if he didn't, I wasn't, you know, I'd sit back. Well, I tried.
Well, if that was the case, Jay, you would have quit when you like. I remember when you started early on, when you just had that big bookshelf behind you and the Voltron sitting there and sitting in the chat with only a few people just chatting with you. I mean, if you were going to give up, you would have gave up then when you didn't feel like there was a lot of people showing up at first, but you didn't. You persevered and you kept moving forward. I mean, that's part of the reason why I say some of these people that don't believe in themselves, because they don't think that they can make it on their own, that they feel like they have to rely on other people, and you didn't feel that way. You had a lot of great people eventually that were behind you, but yeah, you started doing it on your own.
Well, the thing is I had a great circle. Jeremy, Ryan, they all encouraged me, sent me text messages, sent me, you know, making sure I was good, saw that I was tired, always checked on me. Anything you need, tell me what you can do. You know, could I have texted Gina Carano and say, can you push the shirts? I probably could, but I don't want her to feel like that's why I'm her friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want her to.
You don't want her to feel beholden.
Yeah,
to you.
It's like I never wanted ever anything from her. Like, I don't want her to think like, oh, Jay's texting again. Like, oh, he probably wants me to promote something like that. That's not it, you know? So, I mean,
you got to be real as far as friendships, brother. I mean, yeah, that's why I don't call certain people about certain things or talk to them about things. You know, like when we talk, it's about regular stuff, you know?
Yeah, but that's it. Like, and what I'm talking about is like, if you want something, it's not easy, but it can happen if you want it.
Jay's making me feel things. I hate it when he does this to me. But no, it's like, see, I don't
want to take up everyone's time. I apologize.
Well, I do need to go through super chats in a moment. Go ahead, Saggy.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm kind of, I guess, outside of my element, I guess, here, as far as like, I'm someone on this platform who talks to everybody. And I've come a very long way from who I was like maybe 3-4 years ago, being a little trolly girl on the internet, SJW type person, and growing and learning. And one thing I'm learning about the YouTube community in particular is it's all a clique. And I hate it because I like to talk to people. I'm a social butterfly, and I don't want to limit myself to a group or an individual, because I like to listen to everybody and try to, because that helps me learn. It helps me better myself, hearing everybody talk and trying to understand where everyone's coming from. But I mean, and Jay knows, and some of y'all know, I came to a point with this YouTube community where if I talk to the wrong person, I'm going to get casted out by a group. And that sucks and it hurts, because I get very attached to people, and that's one big problem I have to get over being a YouTuber. Because if I call you my friend, that is what it is. You're my friend, you are my kin. I am loyal to a T. But then people who I try to be loyal to, they'll back you in a corner. And this YouTube community, it feels like, you know, you got sharks in the water. Like Jay said, there's a lot of fakeness because people are like literally clawing to get to the top on this platform. You know, and like Jay said, it is about hard work. Now, for me, I just talk to people. And if people like me and we become cool and there's a relationship and they like what I do, then like I feel comfortable with them being like, hey, go check out Saggy. I will never tell somebody to come to my channel. I'm very self-aware of what I do on my platform, you know? So I just want to talk to people. And like Jay said, he didn't want to call Gina because he doesn't want people to be like, oh, he's using Gina for clout, or he's using Gina to make money. That's the same thing with YouTube. Everybody claims everybody's in it for clout, and there are some people who are. But it sucks because being a YouTuber, you know, you have to, when you do stuff and you do work hard or you do what you do and you are being genuine, it don't matter to people. They just want to hate.
Saggy, that's one of those things, though. You should never feel like you're actually backed into a corner. Anybody that knows me, when I was modding alone, I was modding for over 60 plus channels. I was everywhere, and I was modding for people that maybe Jay and some of the people that in his crew back when it was a drunk guy, 5 black guys and a drunk back then. I was modding for them. And then I was modding for people that a lot of people in his crew couldn't stand, but I was able to have open lines of communications with all those different people. And I was able to do that up until the point that those people burned me with their fakeness. That's what I always watch out with. I will talk with anybody unless you burn me. Once you burn me, guess what? The gloves are coming off the paws and you're going to get nibbled.
Genuine friendships are made all across this
Tommy,
whole
you told me you
experience.
like the hot wax.
Listen, real talk, please. If you're gonna hate me, hate me for being real. I'd rather be hated for being real than hated for being fake. That's just what it is. Hate me for being real.
And that's it. I came out of this from a professional wrestling and background and working in radio for 6 years. So I'm comfortable with a microphone and, you know, in front of the camera and stuff like that. But it's a different, like Saggy said, alluded to, it's like YouTube is like crabs in a bucket. It is. It's like crabs in a bucket at times. It's like when one starts pulling up, the rest of them try to pull them back down, so they all stay in the same level at times. But you find these pockets of people who you click with, and that's it. And I've met a couple, you know, like Superfan Adam Shawhan. I got to give him a shout out because he is a freaking hell of a dude. Dude brought me up this, like delivered this to me, knew my background, brought me the People's Champion medallion, ordered this for me. He's like, hey man, he goes, I got something. And this thing's like 5 pounds. This is heavy. Because he knew I came from a wrestling background, and that's, I call it the People's Champion. Nice. And he brought that up to me as a gift, man. Like, he met my family, you know, he broke bread with my family. And, you know, I met, you know, the guys from WCBS, and it's like, I've known Jeff. He brought me into this basically because I followed him after The Last Jedi. I was like, are there, you know, I'm looking, I was like, are there people that really, you know, kind of, because I come out of that movie so what the did I watch? Because I've been a Star Wars fan since like 83 when I was a little kid, you know. And so this community, I've met so many good, you run into the fakes, absolutely. But they say it's almost like pro wrestling where they say, you know, if you want a friend, you better buy a dog. But then you can make genuine friends here. And that's the thing is like, you have to weed through a lot of fakes to get to the heart of it, to get to the good. And you do, and it's like also if you have a bad experience with somebody, other people may not have. So if you be respectful,
That's why.
That's it.
That's why I talk to everybody. You don't know how many times I'll have I'll meet someone, and then somebody else be like, "Hey, yo, that person, don't talk to that person. They're gonna do this," and then I find out later, oh, it's because y'all's personality didn't mesh, and y'all had something. Listen, If it's a petty fight, y'all didn't get along, I don't care.
Hey.
Miss me with that.
Hey.
Unless a person literally did something like really, really god awful, maybe criminal, possibly. I'm not here for that. I'm just here. I'm here to talk to people.
Culture, go ahead, and then I gotta do these super chats.
No,
man.
it's cool. All I was going to say, Saggy, is tell us a little bit more about Hot Jeremy.
Oh, you mean Hot Jeremy right here?
Hot Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Hot Jeremy. We talk about Hot Jeremy. What about Hot Jeremy? What about Hot
Is he
Jeremy?
above average?
Oh, he is more than above average. Check
What
out
about Hot Jeremy?
He's Hot Jeremy. That's right.
Yeah, he is Hot Jeremy. I'm very proud of this one. I creeped out everybody with my Hot Jeremy, but yes, I do have a Hot Jeremy mask. I actually have Hot Jeremy emoji in my chat too. When you remember, you get the Hot Jeremy emoji. I'm working on Cute Kindle. Cute Kindle's not catching on like Hot Jeremy did for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's Ryan that's a problem.
How about Killer Kindle?
Killer Kindle. I don't know. I don't think that would be good.
All right, I gotta run through this real quick, guys. I'm gonna lose. I already lost a few, and I apologize to those who do. I'll square up with you. Snow W's gonna take me for $5. This perfect example is Little Nas X. He made sure to get all the kids singing his music, and then made the switch and came out. Now look at him, nefarious.
Absolutely,
I guess that was directed to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
my nephew got caught like that. He was a big fan until that.
Oh, I want to take my horse to Newtown Road.
That song is fire though. I'm sorry. That song was pretty fire.
Mortal Call for $10 says, Mark, your vid on CNET solo article inspired a segment on Wednesday Savage called Han Solo Mouth R. Thanks, and could you summarize it for the rogues?
The Han Solo story. You're talking about the guy who claimed that his 8-year-old said he had a problem with the character of Han Solo based on that scene in The Empire Strikes Back when he's rubbing Leia's hand and Leia tells him to stop it. And the 8-year-old allegedly told the father that he didn't like Han Solo because he didn't stop when Leia told him to stop. So he was saying that Han Solo was a bad character. He's not to be admired. And then he went on to say that the original trilogy is fast becoming unwatchable.
Wow.
And irrelevant.
Well, I have that problem too, but it's because of the retroactive effect of the Disney films, but not because of Han Solo being all dolphin lovey.
I still love 1 through 6. Yeah, I still love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coil.
She calls him a scoundrel for freak's sake.
I know. She at least stood up for herself. Guys, check out Mortal Coil's channel. Link in the description below. Mackany Draws sent a super sticker, $2. Thank you so much, Mac. Appreciate you. The Islington Girl, thank you for stopping through to be our super sticker. Love you, honey. Thank you so much for supporting all of our channels. Please subscribe to all these wonderful people. I know I missed a couple more unless they jumped on me all over the place. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's see. Sporking News Podcast. Love this panel and chat going over to the dump. Guys, the Sporking News Podcast, the dump comes on in about 15 minutes. So we're going to be ending here soon so we can go over there. Please check out Scott's channel. He's been my best friend. Speaking of real people, he's been one of the realest people I have known.
He's been offering me sexual favors to get on tonight.
And he might be slightly gay and going after Tom. So, I mean, hey, if you want to see that.
No, well, he's doing it to get favors, so I don't know if that qualifies as gay.
Depends on what the favors are.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying, like, it's
that's just gay for pay. He's fine.
We were on Mad Mardigan discussing Mad
drinking the water
this thing. Yeah, discussing about gayness. Yeah,
he can rub my hand like Han Solo all he wants.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean,
my.
And I don't know too many women who would complain about that, really.
Oh, that's nasty.
Not that I'm condoning it.
Oh, that is
says
just
no
nasty,
means
Tom.
no, but
Ruby Christopher Gaze, I said Gaze.
The hell
I'm
is
so
that?
sorry.
Right.
You all fucked me up. Ruby Christopher Hayes for $10. Channel member, thank you so much. If you want to do something, just go for it. Just do it. I have a very rare illness, but it is not who I am. And yes, I am in pain, but I am hurting, but I'm still working and creating. Make your dent in the universe. Ruben, said, brother.
Met Ruben in Vegas. Awesome guy.
Dude, absolutely. Gaze, speak on that, man.
Speak on that, absolutely, man. Man. If you got a dream, I don't want to sound like Walt Disney or anything, but that's absolutely the truth, man. If you can dream it, you can do it. Like, you got plenty of living proof of that just sitting right here on this panel. Like, anything you set your mind to, you can accomplish. Doesn't matter what's in your way. It doesn't matter if you think people like you. None of that matters. If you got something you want to do it. If you got a story to tell it. There's a way to do it. There's always a way. It's all about the hustle, man. Just get the work done. I know a lot of people say things like, oh, well, I don't have time to write a book, or I don't have time to do this or time to do that. If you got 10 minutes in a day, spend those 10 minutes working toward your goal. That's all you got to do. There's 10 minutes add up, and after a time, you'll have something. Just never quit, never give up. And like Drunk was saying about Fatal J, like I've had quite a few conversations with him, while he was going through that whole process. And absolutely, man, never heard the man complain. He was just asking, hey, what do you think? This is better? You think that's better? What should I do here? And yeah, he's just seeking advice, and doing his best. And look what he accomplished. We can all accomplish whatever we set our minds to. Just stop making excuses and do it.
My excuse is Tom smells. That's my excuse why I'm not successful.
Terrible excuse.
I'm not.
You should never let Tom's stench get in your way.
It is in the way because I can't breathe.
See, right, you're right.
I have to say, I had a revelation. Just watching Drunk. Watching Jay. I think I told you, Jay, when we did the meetup. One thing I realized is that if you watch him, this man is always about 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. Like he's constantly playing chess. Like what you see. I'm sorry to put you out there like that because I know you want to have this more simplistic type of easygoing type of persona, but he is very much aware of what he's doing, where he is, and putting himself in position to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that might be there. So that's something that I learned from, and I think a lot of people can learn from that approach as well. You know what I mean? Just to be able to actually see yourself somewhere and put yourself in position where you can be available. That's something I heard him say a long time ago. I was available, so I was able to do this when it comes to helping other people or whatever.
Right.
And there's a lot to be learned from that. Just to be a little bit more, strategic in what you're doing.
Dude, absolutely, man. Like I said, I work nonstop, man, nonstop. I was working while I was listening. I know tonight's panel is going to be pretty big, so I wasn't going to jump on. But after hearing Jay and Mark, what you guys are saying is it's 100% true. We put ourselves out there. We're working night and day. We're making sure magic's going to happen because the mainstream doesn't have it. All they're trying to do is control people left and right. Everything that we do, media, the phones, every app. It's controlling people. It's controlling kids. They want a society of zombies that are just going to comply. It's up to us to keep getting creativity out there, to support one another, to push one another. I'm on campaign number 6 right now that I'm working damn hard and getting out there into people's hands. My last one was a hardcover book. Why? Because people want it. People are supporting. And in the middle of all this stuff, you got to put more out there. I've been helping so many creators across the board when it comes to this as well. People have no idea what they're doing. Fatal J reached out to me. A bunch of different guys reached out to me. And I give them advice. I tell them, this is what you do. People go, oh, what about printers and stuff like that? I hook them up with my printer. I've been doing it from day one since I got into this. I came from the mainstream. I work with McFarlane. I did these things. But guess what? These people are all the same. At some point, you got to walk away and build your own thing. You want a genuine product out there. You want to be real with people. Be real with people. That's how this works. That's how it keeps growing.
Facts. Real. It's sad though. Sometimes I think the issue is I think people want real, but I think we are in a society where fakeness is a more popular stance. Because let's be real. Look at all the huge people on YouTube, the big ones, the ones that have been growing like the Logan Pauls of the internet stuff. That, you know what I'm saying? Like the people are for some reason gravitated to fakeness. And it's we could call it out, but they don't care. Like when you call out the fakeness, it's it don't matter. Their audience is already locked in. They ain't going nowhere. So what is the point? And then it makes people who are real and really trying to do what they can to be like, hey, I'm a real person, and I'm doing my thing. And it's well, they don't care. So that I understand too, the double-edged sword here, where sometimes I understand why some people who are trying to build their stuff, they do fake because they see what it works. They see what works. Fakeness works in this community. That's sad. That needs to change. That needs to change.
Yeah.
More big YouTubers need to be more real all the time. And I love meeting people, and that's why I talk to everyone, because I like to see the real people. Because if we're gonna grow as a community, real needs to be a little bit more relevant than fakeness.
Well, I think as Jay was pointing out, a lot of people hit a certain point and then they get bought out, they get offered money, and I made a lot of, especially on you're talking about millions and millions and millions of subs. I'm sure that they've already got that locked in. I think it's people that refuse that type, that would refuse it, in my opinion, like Gary, like leaders in our community, Midnight's Edge. That's really going to be the important voices, the people that are out there that are not spoiled.
Listen, if somebody wants to buy me, right? Like, say somebody, no, this is what I'm saying. If somebody wants to buy me, right? Somebody wants to come to me and make a proposition, be like, hey, we see what you're doing. We like what you're doing. We're going to offer you this. The first thing I'm asking, the first thing I'm not even asking, the first thing I'm saying is I'm not changing who I am for anyone. As long as you understand that, we have a deal. That's how it should be. As long as you're not going to tell me that I can't do this or can't wear this or can't say this, then we have a deal. That should be the first thing that comes out of anyone's mouth when they're doing something like that, especially with YouTubers. Because see, actors is different. YouTubers, if somebody approaches you with an offer, first thing you tell them is, I ain't changing my content. If you're okay with that, we got a deal. Simple.
All I'm saying is you don't know people's story though, man. People could be hungry, man. Their kids could be hungry.
Okay, that's fair. That's true too.
So it's just like when you wave $100,000 at somebody and they're just like, I want my kids to go to college. Like it's hard, man.
And it depends what it is.
I hear what you're saying loud and clear. I hear what you're saying. It's hard sometimes.
Damn, when he says it like that, now you're making people feel bad.
Well, it also depends who you are and where you are in life, right? And how serious it is. What are they telling you to do? Look at someone like Joe Rogan. He got that big deal, went over to Spotify. Then what? He started talking about things that they didn't want him to talk about. He didn't care. He's still doing it because he has an audience, and that's the other thing. They know people with these monster channels, they have an audience, so they could spin the narrative in whatever way they want and put out whatever information they want people to hear, whether it's right or it's wrong. That's where the danger comes into. If it's just something kind of trivial, it doesn't really matter, and someone's dangling that carrot, I know a lot of people, they'll bite onto it, they'll take it. But if it's something that's way more serious, something that's bigger, that's why you're seeing like certain people are getting more woken up to what's going on. And they're flipping the script. And then what happens? That's when they send the cancel culture after them. So it's a strange path that's out there right now.
I have a solution for everyone. If you want to make it big and you want to make all that money, OnlyFans is a place for you.
Oh shit! Someone some feet pics around here. When it comes to that fake bullshit, there's only one way to take the approach. You do it your way.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra said it best.
Yep.
And that's the only way to do it. Because if you have to change who you are to be able to get there, is it really worth it in the end? You're sacrificing everything about yourself. No.
Exactly. It depends. It depends on what you're going to do when you get there and if you can help others.
Right.
Yeah,
look at what the good Tom King is saying here is what I was actually thinking. He's saying that Brandon is relying on that for his tyrannical vax mandate because when you really put this in practical concerns, this is what we're all facing right now. You know what I mean? This sellout thing. Look at the parallels. You just want to do what you want to do. You want to be who you are. You want to live your life. But someone is coming into your life and saying, if you don't do what we tell you to do, you actually cannot live your life the way that you're used to living. You must conform, you must comply, so it's like all of us right now have a choice to make because this is what's being brought to us. Do we actually want to live in a society like this? Or when you bring it down to the comics and the graphic novels, Fatal J, he chose to do his own thing, to start his own thing. I was just actually thinking about this on the last video that I did. At what point do people say, you know what? Enough. We actually pay into this system. You know what I mean? We pay into all of this. When all of this stops working for us, it starts telling us what it is that we're supposed to do in order to survive. At what point do you say, yo, we're just going to do our own thing?
I mean,
it's a dangerous spot.
Jay made the best point though. That kind of shut us all up. With our point is like we don't know what some people are going through. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this might be vulgar for me to say, but if I had a child and I was struggling, and my child was about to lose their roof over their head and food in their stomach, I'm selling my ass on the street. Like that's just what it is. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do if the situation calls for it. So I mean, that's kind of the point I can say.
And on that note,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Hundreds of thousands of people are losing their jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And other people are not losing their jobs because they do want to take care of their kids. You know, so they're doing something they might not necessarily believe in, but look at what's being put to them. Either you do this or you can't eat, you can't feed your kids, or they can't go to school. It's like terribly unfair. But we're going to be bystanders to this. You know, those of us who are just rolling over, we're going to be bystanders and watch good people, our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers walk out that door. Like it blows my mind, man. That's why I can't help but talk about that on the channel. Like I have people in my comments telling me that it's happening to them. Yeah. You know, so I'm not trying to be a downer, but you got to be relevant too. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yep.
So yeah, man.
Thank you, Mark.
We're coming to a crossroads. We are.
Mark, I've appreciated you for so many years because you do confront things like this and you do talk about things. When I first started watching your channel, you were talking about like black entertainments and things like that, and you've always grown with the topics that have come to you, and I really appreciate you, dude. Like out of everybody that I've ever been following, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being there and standing up and leading the way, man. I appreciate you. Well, I want to get through these real fast because Sporking News Podcast, the dump is starting in 5 minutes, and I want to make sure everybody goes over there and hangs out with Scotty. Please support him. Sporking News Podcast for $5. Channel member, my brother. I am motivated by you all. But if I didn't have the drive inside me, I would have folded already. Keep up the grind. Sub to Walton and everybody on this panel. Thank you, brother. Please, guys, go check out.
He's a nutless wonder.
Please go check him out. Angela's Drayton for $50. Dude, thank you so very much. It's an amazing people on this panel. Keep up all the great work. Welcome to the rebellion, and let's create that alternative to the mainstream media. Hashtag Dark Council. Hashtag Rogue Family. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated you, man. Let's see. Thomas Gilkey, my future ex-husband, says much love to all of you. I don't agree with most of you politically or socially, but I can respectfully disagree with you, except for Walton, because he's an enema and he's obsessed with me. Thank you all for supporting, gents. I love it.
He got that one flushed right down for you, Walton.
I love it when you fight, Thomas.
Did Avanos join?
Oh, that's nasty.
So, guys, thank you all so very much for being here this evening. Thank you to everybody. Please support everybody on the panel. Thank you to everybody for showing up. Any super chats that I missed, I promise I'll go back and do a square up for you guys. Please support independent creators. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be good to each other. Peace.
Let's go.
McKinney Draws just sent in $10. So many amazing people on this fellowship. It was a super chat. That's what it was.
You have created for yourself.
You are all truly amazing.
Standing up for my rights
to be
as a consumer.
Rogue and grow with you guys. Thank you, McKinney.
But if you're still growing after 4 hours, consult your physician.
Fuck that, you think it's counting that.
Are y'all going to town? Can I catch a ride?
Drunk3PO.